Hey, this is a review of the Colgate Total Plaque Pro Release toothpaste. We'll kind of just go through all of the pros and the cons so you get a general idea of kind of what to expect with this new toothpaste. And just for some background information, I actually got this to get free shipping for this toothpaste. Like this was the one I actually wanted to try, and I just got this to get the free shipping. But to be honest, I ended up using this one a lot more than the whitening toothpaste, right? So that's just kind of interesting. But yeah, so let's go with the pros. The first pro is that this comes with the premium version of fluoride, okay? So the premium version of fluoride is the Stannis version. Okay, this is different from the sodium version. You can kind of see that in a lot of the toothpaste with like Colgate. They market all of the premium versions of fluoride with the total on it, and for Crest they will have the Pro Health label on it. So those all have the premium version of fluoride. So that does cost more, okay? But the advantage of having the Stannis fluoride is that it is actually anti-cavity, right? It's anti-cavity, anti-gingivitis, and anti-sensitivity. So the sodium version of fluoride is only anti-cavity. It does not have the anti-gingivitis, and it does not have the anti-sensitivity, okay? So because the Stannis fluoride has a lot more functions and effects, it consequently costs a lot more. Okay, and then the next pro is that I really like the toothpaste that can be stored upright, right? Because of the flat cap on the bottom, right? It can kind of stand like that, and this just gives a cleaner look to your bathroom space. It's much preferred, or at least I prefer it over the ones where the ones where you typically just kind of roll around on there and it looks scrunched up and everything, right? It doesn't look as good. So yeah, the vertical standing ones, definitely I like this, and it's a big plus. The third pro is that I like how it makes my mouth feel pretty clean and fresh feeling afterwards. It'll stay for like a pretty long time, like an hour or 2 hours or something like that afterwards, and it just like that fresh feeling is always a good feeling. That some of that probably has to do with it's fairly minty, and I do find the mintier toothpaste, they do tend to have like a fresher feeling because you get like that tingling, spicy sensation in your mouth, which I kind of really like. The fourth pro is that this is TSA travel size compliant, right? It's 3 ounces. It's right below the limit, so you don't need to buy a separate travel toothpaste. If you use this, you can just take this with you on the plane, and it will qualify, right? It is TSA travel size compliant, which is really cool. The next pro I really like about this is actually the taste. It tastes, it has like a slight sweet mint taste to it. I do like how it tastes. It reminds me of Mentos, like the regular Mentos when I'm brushing with this. So like I really enjoy the time I am brushing with this. It just tastes really good to me. So yeah, it tastes like Mentos to me, to be quite honest. And then the last pro is that it is I think the design is fairly aesthetic. It has like a clear plastic cap, which makes it look fancy, and then it has the glossy cover and everything. It just looks and feels a lot more premium. You can kind of compare that to the whitening toothpaste here, like the texture and everything. It just looks and feels a lot more premium. Okay, so yeah, so those are all of the pros, and now we're gonna move on to the cons. The first con is that it is more costly than their regular toothpaste. Like Colgate has the regular Colgate Total toothpaste, but the Plaque Pro release it does cost a bit more than it, so that is a con. The next con is that it's a very small size bottle. It's 3 ounces. Like I said, this is like travel size compliant. It's a small bottle. I don't know about you, but recently I've been noticing a trend where the toothpaste they have been getting smaller and smaller. Because if you go to like Costco or BJ's, you get the toothpaste up to like 8 ounce size, which is like almost like 3 times the size of this thing. So like whatever reason, the toothpaste are getting smaller and smaller. The third con is that it has a twist off cap that I'm not like crazy about, right? Because for the twist off cap, it takes a while for you to twist it off. You see that? It go for like quite a while before it comes off, and after you're done, you have to twist it back on. You're like twisting, and it feels like an eternity sometimes. I much prefer the flip cap design. Even for like you see this toothpaste here, right? You just open, close, open, close. It takes like half a second, right? You compare that to the twist off, it takes a while, and you have to screw it back on. You're wasting a lot of your life there, just opening and closing this toothpaste. So yeah, so definitely prefer a flip cap over a twist cap design. Although I suppose the twist cap is more secure if you're traveling with this. It's less likely to kind of pop open in your bag if you're like flying or traveling anywhere. So yeah, but the next con is that it actually has to do with the stannous fluoride. There is potential teeth staining. Yes, you heard that correctly. Stannous fluoride can potentially stain your teeth. And I'm not making that up because it says so right on the toothpaste tube. If you look on the other information, right, products containing stannous fluoride may produce surface staining of the teeth. But then they go on to say adequate toothbrushing may prevent these stains, which are not harmful or permanent and may be removed by your dentist, right? So it says it on the bottle, so you should know that it is a potential side effect. Most people don't really realize that, and they don't really, put it in bold front right there. Even though it says whitening paste, it can, sort of stain your teeth. So just for some background history about the stannous fluoride, it was actually like I believe it was like the first fluoride to be introduced onto the market in like the 1950s by Crest, but then it was pulled off the market not too long afterwards because they started noticing like brown and yellow stains on the teeth from using it, right? And then they kind of switched over to the sodium fluoride version, which does not cause staining, okay? But recently, in like the past decade or two, they kind of made like a breakthrough innovation with the formulation with the stannous fluoride, where they kind of got it to where they could significantly minimize or decrease the amount of teeth staining, okay? And that is why they kind of brought it back onto the market. So yeah, so you're seeing a lot of the new toothpaste or the more premium ones, they're all coming out with the stannous fluoride, right? So even though it seems new, it was actually the first fluoride to be used, right? So yeah, so that's just an interesting piece of information. But yeah, so that concludes the review of the Colgate Total Plaque Pro Release toothpaste.